Teens TV here and unity-qld.com.au. What I'm going to talk to you about today is a very interesting survey that I found in our local paper here in Brisbane, the Sunday Mail, the weekend before last. And I just want to go over some of the statistics they found with you and open the floor for some feedback. Some very interesting topics were covered and some very interesting percentages came out of it. So this is the full article here. And one of the things a couple of the things that I'll talk to you about today is talking about banning schoolies, which is a big event on the Gold Coast, as probably most of you know. And they were saying that 9 out of 10 parents would like to ban schoolies. And there was too much availability of drugs and alcohol, and they were really concerned. What are your thoughts on that? I've got 2 teenagers, and my daughter, who's 13, is already talking about how she hopes they don't ban schoolies because she really wants to go, and she looks at it as a big party situation. My concern is that it's all well and good to have that wind down after that very intense time of Year 12. However, is it supervised enough? The other thing is that when I listen to the way my children talk about it, they really feel like it's a coming out. It's a big party situation, and that's okay. However, who will regulate how hard they party, what they do? Do they have the risk assessment involved to judge what's going on? Are they in a dangerous situation? My other thoughts on it are, there's been a lot of talk about the older adults that come in and get involved, and they do their best to stop this. However, they're still there. So that concerns me when children have not as much street smarts as you'd like them to have. There's alcohols and drugs available. They're pretty impressionable, and they're just having loads of fun with their friends. And so are they really looking out for those danger signs? I hope I can educate them enough so that whatever is around when their time comes, they can be as safe as possible. Do I still think that I can let them go? I don't know. I may be hiding right behind a corner somewhere and following them around for a few days. Who knows? I'll get back to you on that one. The other thing that came up in this report was about smacking. And it was interesting that more Queensland men than women supported smacking. 50% of men and 33% of women. And Australian Childhood Foundation Chief Executive Dr. Joe Tukey said he wasn't surprised by the results but didn't agree with them. What do you think about smacking? He felt that I'd be happy if 100% of respondents insisted on parents being allowed to discipline their children. Discipline's absolutely essential, he said, but not physical force. I'm again not sure on this. There is a fine line between physical discipline and assault. There is an appropriateness in everybody's association with it. And I've smacked my children on the bottom, once when they were little. I've threatened a wooden spoon. Usually that's enough. I haven't had to use it just as yet. However, what's your thoughts on that? I'm a big believer that 2 wrongs don't make a right. So if a child's hitting it back may not be the best avenue. It's an interesting debate, isn't it? Because everybody's association with a smack may be different. Is it too hard? Is it too soft? What was demonstrated by your parents? What do you think works? So I find that argument and discussion very, very interesting. And it really does come down to your own experiences and your own associations and what you would like and what you don't like, what does work for you and what doesn't work for you. At the end of the day, it's about creating the positivity. It's about creating those boundaries. It's about creating those rules, and it's about listening. Sometimes we may smack if, we feel they're doing the wrong thing. Do they understand they're doing the wrong thing? Maybe that's a place to start. The other thing that I liked about this was they were saying that 65% of families, especially with primary school age children, were dining together 5 to 7 times a week. I think this is great. I think this is really good. There is a debate over whether the TV should be on or not. For me, that's not that important. It's the fact that we're all sitting around sharing a meal. We're all eating together. I get to watch the way the children eat and remind them to use their knives and forks. We get to talk about our days. Nobody leaves the table because they're hungry. And, you know, it's just a time to be together, especially when you have a 3-year-old and 2 teenagers. And there's not a lot of time that you actually sit together. Everybody's so busy doing things in their own worlds, learning their own new things. So dining together, I think, is really important. What do you think? The other thing that was interesting was 85% of children at school have experienced bullying. I will do a segment on bullying and how to bully-proof your child. One thing I want you to know though is one thing that I taught my children is to walk away, is to feel strong enough in yourself that whatever anybody says to you doesn't matter. And if it does matter, look into yourself first. Why does that mean something to you? And most importantly, I often say to them, the bullies are the way they are because they're scared, because they're angry, and because something's not going right for them. So it's better to walk away than to be mean back, because you don't know what's going on in their life. Why are they like that? So we will talk about that more in another session. I look forward to doing that with you. But look forward to your experiences in that area. And another thing which appeals to me, especially having teenagers and hearing some of the stories, not only from my children but my friends with similar aged children, is that 50% of people said it was okay to supply underage teenagers with alcohol. I have a little bit of issue with that, depending on the age of the child. I also think that in a home with your own child, it is your choice. However, if your child goes to somebody else's house and the parent hasn't checked in with you and supplies alcohol, thinking that it's okay because they have adult supervision there, is that okay? For me, personally, it's not. It's not okay. You check with me before you provide my child with anything. This hasn't happened to me yet. However, I do certainly know that it does happen. If there's parties on, especially now my son's 15, he's got some friends that are 16 in the same grade. There's been a couple of times where that's been available. There's also been a party that he went to recently, and I really like this, that the parents actually contacted the other parents of the children coming and asked if it was okay. Enough of the parents said it wasn't okay that they then decided not to have alcohol at that party, even under supervision. So what are your thoughts on that? So that's it from me today. There were some other great statistics in this article, and if you can, look it up online. If you've got the paper, re-look at it. But I open the floor for discussion. Have a look at what people are wanting. And the last statistic I just want to share with you is over 50% of parents felt that parenting courses, parenting groups and parenting advice was very beneficial, and some of them even thought that it should be compulsory. So isn't it wonderful that we have a TV show like ours, that there are so many great resources out there for parents now? Just remember, it's not that you don't know, it's that the world is changing and there's new and wonderful things happening, and we've just got to learn the new rules. We've just got to learn a new way, and we're living a different lifestyle than what's been lived before. So what might have worked before may not work now. It's not that you can't make it work or that you're failing. It's just finding what works. So thank you again, and I look forward to talking to you all next week. Have a great week. Bye.